Welcome back, fight fans. UFC Paris just took place. We had Kyle Borrallo taking on Nasruddin Imavov. We're going to go over the main card, break down the fights, do a little matchmaking, and just give you our raw thoughts on it, starting with the first fight on the main card, which wasn't initially scheduled to be on the main card, so it was not in our preview, but William Gomis versus Robert Rushala.
This fight was entertaining all the way through.
It was.
I really enjoyed watching Gomis fight. I thought he was fluid. I thought he was clean. You could definitely make the argument that Rushala took one or two of those rounds, especially the second round. That was a tight one. But Gomis definitely took over in the third. Depending on how you scored the first round, you could have given it to Rushala. I believe we both had it for Gomis, at least 29-28. Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall, just entertaining. Stood on the feet for the most part.
Lots of kicks.
A couple of takedowns. And in the end, Gomis comes out with the W. So can't complain too much. He starts it off strong for the French crowd. Gets the first W of the night for the French people. I don't believe there was a... No, there was. Omar Sy was the first French winner of the night. So kept the streak going. They were 2-0 at this point. And yeah, just good overall match. Good way to start the main card.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the UFC experience was on Gomis' side. Mm-hmm. This was Rushala's UFC debut, and you could tell the difference. A lot of times when they have these home crowd guys like Gomis, and they might get a short notice can, or just someone that doesn't have as much experience, so they can do something like this. I would like to see Gomis really step it up going forward. I believe that there was a fight between him and Nathaniel Wood that got scrapped at one point. If they want to rebook that, I think that would be kind of cool. Otherwise, the dude doesn't necessarily fight enough or isn't that exciting to necessarily demand rankings yet, especially in a tough division like featherweight. So unless you're going to get a finish against a newcomer, then you're going to keep on fighting unranked guys.
And that's exactly what should happen for him next. No fight prediction, or no, unless you have one yourself. No fight prediction for him.
If you want to throw him against tougher competition along the lines of a Sean Woodson, we can see where he stands there. Cool. I'm not saying that's necessarily the fight to make, because I think Sean Woodson is due for a scrap before the end of the year. And I wouldn't necessarily see them putting French on French. There's that Morgan Shire guy who's due for a fight as well. So no, I don't have necessarily a prediction on who we should fight. Like I said, Nathaniel Wood was initially scheduled at one point. And if not, that would still be a good scrap.
Let's make it. Moving on to the next fight of the night, we had Axel Sola versus Rhys McKee. Now, this fight was a banger.
Yeah, you want to talk about UFC debuts in front of your home crowd, too.
That was great.
That Sola guy came out, and he was landing some powerful shots.
Oh, yeah.
We were saying that Rhys McKee is walking forward like a zombie.
The entire time, yeah.
His jaw was hanging, blood was dripping from the first round on. But it didn't seem like the shots to the head were affecting him as much as the shots to the body.
Definitely. And I mean, that is how Sola ended up getting the win. Just really, really tough body shots back to back in the third round.
Clean landing on the body, too. Just
same spot as well. And, Rhys McKee definitely took the punches to the head better than the body. You can even see on the fight companion, his entire torso is red. Poor guy. Axel Sola looked really, really fucking good. I would love to see I'm looking forward to his next matchup, whatever that may be, whenever that may be. The favorite gets the W as expected. Good for him, and shout out to Rhys McKee, because that dude took a lot of damage and refused to back down, refused to fight off the back foot, just kept going at him the entire time. Yeah,
Rhys McKee is not somebody that I rate super highly. I think if you, again, like the Gomis fight, if you want somebody in front of the crowd that is from that nation to get a dub, this is the kind of matchup you give them.
Absolutely. We move on?
Yeah.
Now we get back to our fight predictions via last week. Balaji Oki versus Mason Jones. This was fireworks.
Yeah, this could arguably be the fight of the night. I think just the way that Mason Jones was able to bounce back makes it fight of the night worthy, in my opinion.
Both guys got knockdowns in the first round. Balaji Oki came out strong like we expected.
He's strong and faster, just like we said he was.
And pounced all over Mason Jones early.
Big shots for landing. We were already saying like it's not even 90 seconds in, and it looks like Mason Jones is about to go out.
And he almost did. Good on the refs. The refs did a really, really good job this entire fight card.
We do want to make that clear.
Yeah.
We were very impressed by, for a lot of refs that we're not used to seeing out there, like the only ones who we really questioned were the
ones we see all the time.
usual suspects.
Yeah, it was so shout out to the refs. Very, very good job. I'm glad they let Mason Jones keep coming because this turned into one of the comebacks of the year.
Absolutely.
Mason Jones, returns the knockdown favor, starts pummeling him from on top. The round ends, and then in the second round, he just wrapped it up. He took off right where he left off.
Well, you were saying yourself that you were like, Oki is looking so slow.
Yes,
and it seems like he was, Mason Jones had his timing down, and it was just easily slipping out of the way of these shots and then countering. And Mason Jones just looked levels above Oki. He looked like he was in much better shape. He looked like the veteran in the octagon.
Absolutely. And gets the W via elbows. So good for Mason Jones. Hopefully we can see him before the end of the year. Would love another right outside the top 15 matchup for him.
Lightweight's real tough. Lightweight's a real tough division. A win like that, I think, definitely helps you a lot, propels you towards that top. I wouldn't necessarily matchmake him with the likes of Huffy or Ruffy
no.
right now, right? But someone that I do think actually Mason Jones would have a fun scrap against that is just outside the rankings would be like Drew Dober.
Great fight. Drew Dober is more than game and would absolutely participate in whatever type of fight he wants to make it. I love that prediction. Get Drew Dober back in the octagon. He's always fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think Dober's been on a little bit of a skid anyways, and that's the kind of fight that he would enjoy. Dober's
a very good gatekeeper for that 155 division.
But yeah, shout out to Mason Jones. That was a great performance. He was clearly better. And Balaji Oki probably needs to fight somebody with someone that's on the same experience level as him next.
Yeah. Fun fighter nonetheless. Both these guys had a great time watching that. Fight of the night, like you mentioned. We move on to the fourth fight of the main card. Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig.
You finally got the name right.
Thank you. I know. It only took me 8 tries. This one was just heartbreaking.
I mean, I wouldn't call it heartbreaking. We kind of broke down exactly the type of fighter that Paul Craig is at the age of 37.
Yeah.
This went exactly as expected for the most part. I didn't think that Bukauskas was going to get him out.
I did.
Let alone in the first round.
I did.
So you did.
I mean, Paul Craig is he's older. He's not durable. He can't take the big punches. 205 is a tough weight division to take these headshots against. And, man. So Bukauskas was doing something interesting where he was initiating the clinches.
He sure was.
Where I thought, he would want to keep it at range and then just pick him apart from a distance. But no, he was initiating the clinches, and then he gets Paul Craig on the bottom towards the end of the round and just started raining down these elbows.
Yeah, so I had kind of said in our preview that I even think that if Bukauskas goes to the ground, he's going to be fine because he's a really well-rounded fighter. Like, he may not be like a world beater, but more well-rounded than Paul Craig, obviously more well-rounded than like a Bo Nickel, right, who refused to clinch with Paul Craig whatsoever.
Just throw it
right,
over
where
hands.
it's like clearly, like if you would have just like believed in yourself, you probably could have gotten a sweet finish.
Yeah.
And then, but that is what it is. But shout out to Bukauskas throwing those elbows that you were calling them.
My goodness,
you made a great call. So when Craig got finished, he rolls over and he's covered in blood, and you just assume that the elbows caused it. Well, they did, but it wasn't the elbow that actually made contact. It was the elbow that bounced the head off the canvas so hard that it split open his right eyebrow.
Yep.
Like that was insane. So
it was
at the buzzer. Like that shit's so sick.
One of the loudest elbows I've ever heard. You could hear his head bang off the canvas, and he just rolled over and was done
for the win.
Paul Craig retires. That was just a sad moment for me. I really like Paul Craig. I love, like I mentioned in our recap or in our predictions, I love his personality. I love him on the mic, and it'll be sad for him to retire. But you made a great point as well. Get him into the UFC BJJ.
Absolutely.
That is right where you belong.
If they don't have a weight class for him, then make one. He can obviously make 185, right? So there you go. With all that being said, just to touch on Paul Craig's career, 9-10 in the UFC. Maybe not the best, but I saw the stat before the fight where it was like 16 times he's been an underdog.
Yes.
In the UFC. Like, that's insane.
And he was 6-10, or now he's 6-11.
Something along those lines. So it's like, for this dude to have hung around as long as he did with the skill set that he possesses, and really like that dog mentality. Like, maybe you're not like a scrapper or a brawler, but like the dude wasn't afraid to go in there and get hit
by
against
anybody.
these people. And it's like, we mentioned it a lot. We'll mention it one last time. He's defeated 2 champions.
You goddamn right.
So he might be the only dude in UFC history to have a losing record in the UFC, yet defeat 2 champs. So
shout out Paul Craig.
Thank you, Paul Craig. I hope that the face painting of the nations doesn't stop. And best of luck with the rest of your post-fighting career.
Yeah, do that more. I like when people paint their face. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening.
Yes,
Benoit,
the people's main event.
The people's main event, indeed. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Mauricio Huffy. This one went about as we expected via BSD's path to victory.
Correct.
We expected if Benoit were to get the win, it would have to be via the grappling exchange. He looked like he wanted no part of the striking.
He shot immediately.
Yeah, he was like, we do not want to play this game with Huffy. We want to get him on the ground and submit him. And in the first round, that was exactly the game plan. Just shoot immediately. The leg kicks that you had mentioned were firing. They were freezing Huffy because he was so worried about the takedown that he wasn't entering that flow state that we were so accustomed to seeing from him.
Yeah, we did start to notice that Benoit Saint-Denis would do like a punch kick 2-strike combo that would basically just get Huffy to react, and Benoit would use that momentum to kind of like charge at him with a takedown attempt, just to at least get a clinch and get him against the cage and get out of danger, basically, is what it felt like. Huffy caught him a couple times on the feet in the second round, and I thought that maybe there was a chance, but at the end of the day, he did exactly what he needed to do to win. He got him to the ground and got the submission.
I mean, he got it mount a couple of times. Like, he was transitioning really, really well on Huffy, and yet got the back, got his hooks in, flattened him out once or twice, and then he ended it with a it wasn't a rear naked, it was more of a face crank.
Yeah,
and just
because
the
it looked
pressure,
like the arm was like on his teeth.
Yeah,
still,
just
like
the pressure that he was putting on him was too much for Huffy to handle.
Yeah, I think he was envisioning what happened to Robert Whittaker and was just like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't need my teeth to get smashed.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat after this. I'm in France, dude. Them croissants.
So unfortunate for Huffy, but shout out to Benoit. That was a very, very good performance from him. Would have loved to see more of the exchanges on the feet, because I think Benoit could have, put more pressure and made this a more exciting fight if it had stayed on the feet. But, go stick to your game plan. Go get your win.
Yeah, wins are important. Wins are super important, and you're facing a super dangerous dude, so we get it. It may not be like the most friendly style. The French crowd was great all night long, and they did not hesitate to boo at any type of clinch or takedown attempt. But if it was their guy, it was fine. Yeah, they'll just start singing some song. So shout out to the French squad for supporting your boys. BSD, big win, one of the biggest wins in his career, if not the biggest win, honestly. The Frivola knockout got him that DP fight, right? But then he gets finished twice in a row. Comes back, gets a sub against a nobody on short notice, right, earlier this year. Now he's on a 2-fight win streak, and you could argue that his next fight could be a Michael Chandler.
That is a great matchup. I actually had no, you're right. I did have BSD Michael Chandler.
Dude,
yes,
that. Great,
good call.
Well, I just think that the styles actually match really well. Chandler is a dog. He's game, but he's also got the wrestling credentials.
Yes, he does.
I don't think you're going to bully him like you just did. So I think that it's also possible that if Rafael Fiziev can get through Charles Oliveira, then that would be a great fight as well.
That would be fireworks as well.
Because then you'd shoot Fiziev up the rankings. He'd be top 5.
Right.
And then you give BSD another top 5 fight, which is what they want. They love to hype this dude up, and for good reason.
Absolutely. BSD is a lot of fun to watch. I know neither of us picked him to win,
No,
but
we did not.
Just a dog all around. God of War, properly nicknamed. For Huffy, on the other hand, I got a name in mind for him.
Okay.
In Ignacio Bahamondes.
That is actually I think that's a sick ass matchup.
Two slick strikers.
And if you don't do that, hear me out. Drew Dober.
Again, Drew Dober, just a great dude to fight all around, always game.
Or actually, for Huffy, I do think the Bahamondes fight would be freaking fireworks.
That is perfect.
You throw that on a main card and any pay-per-view as the opener, and we're stoked about it.
Absolutely, 100%. We want to see Huffy against a striker like that, and he's not going to have the range on a guy like Bahamondes. That guy is so lanky.
Yeah, which is great. But Bahamondes still has those submission abilities too. So he's I think that'd be a great scrap. There is a chance that Ignacio gets booked before then, so it's always tough to make these predictions. But if we had it our way, and we could do UFC 5, this guy versus this guy.
Yeah.
That's what we would do.
Absolutely. Taking it on over to the main event of the evening, Nasruddin Imavov versus Caio Borrallo.
Fun fight.
This was a fun fight.
Probably fight of the night.
You could definitely make that argument, 100%.
I think the other one we mentioned is arguable. They can probably both get it.
Right. A lot of 50K bonuses are going to be thrown around this card.
5-round scrap like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, other than the first round being a little bit of, classic 5-round, first round type thing.
Feeling out process.
Which really, I want to start there, because how many times do these feeling out process end up costing somebody, where it's like, okay, well, you don't know how round 1 went.
Right.
And assuming you didn't win, like, we're probably down 2 rounds going into the 5th.
Right.
Type thing, right?
That's not where you want to be, because now you have to go for the finish.
And you're fucking exhausted.
Yeah. It's just not the situation you want to be in. I gave the first round to Caio. I thought it was a close round. You could definitely put it either way, and I would not have held it against you. Same situation with the 5th round. Again, very, very close round.
Hang on, that 50-45, though. Get the fuck out of here. Dude,
so,
pre-written scorecard.
What the hell was that? There is no way you could watch that 3rd round and be like, give it to the sniper. No. I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
There was a time where Bisping said after the 3rd round, it could be 3-0 Imavov, and I thought that there was somewhat of an argument for it. I wanted to believe in you when you said Caio first round, because I was just being biased.
I know. We love the fighting nerds.
But
is the problem.
when I was asked down there, I said I think it could be 2-1 French guy.
Yeah, you did.
3.
I had it Imavov 48-47. I thought Caio won round 3 and round 1. And then Imavov just looked so sharp in round 2 and 4. There was no debate that he took those rounds. And in round 5, it really came down to the last minute, because Caio started out hot. He came in with some...
in the 5th?
In the 5th,
yeah.
Coming out with some...
Snappy 1-2s.
Snappy 1-2s, absolutely. And within the first 30 seconds, it felt like throughout this fight, every time that Caio had a little bit of a momentum, he was hit with an eye poke.
Man, so that's another thing that annoys me so much. The freaking, of course, these referees with their, I'm going to give you a hard warning, even though you've been poked in the eye twice, kicked in the nuts twice, and I probably gave a warning in the back. Like, what? Dude, come on.
How many warnings
do you need? It's the 5th round, bro.
Yeah.
It's the 5th round, and the guy's down on the scorecard. It wouldn't have mattered, but...
It would not have mattered. But, I mean, if it was my scorecard, which it would never be, it would have ended up being a draw. So, it makes the difference. How many warnings are we going to give these fighters?
I think that, you give the one in the back, and depending on how egregious it is, you either take one immediately or you say, that was your one, homie. Like, that's it. That's what
I say you get one within the octagon. You get one warning, and then if you do it again, that's your point.
Yeah, otherwise, let's start taxing the refs, because these guys are losing half their purse.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about specifically with the way that this fight went down. So Caio stood in that southpaw position for 90% of the fight. And he threw a lot of high leg kicks from his back leg, and none of them were necessarily landing flush. But Imavov, on the other hand, stayed in that orthodox stance the entire time, heavy on that lead leg. And you said it from like round 1, like start chopping at that front leg.
Absolutely.
Caio Borrallo switched to orthodox and hit that lead leg with his right leg 3 times, and all 3 times Imavov reacted like they hurt like a son of a bitch. And the issue is that when Imavov sees that you're switching stance like that, he throws that overhand right.
Right.
That's how he got Izzy, right? He got him during a switch stance. And when Borrallo did it, he got him as well, or at least he was throwing it, right? And I think that he was at least aware of it. But I think that if you're going to be a striker and you want to beat Imavov and you're not named Sean Strickland, that's exactly the path to victory, because those leg kicks were so effective. And I was just like, bro, keep going there, man.
If he kept throwing those leg kicks and slowing down Imavov, crippling him throughout the fight, it definitely could have changed the course of it, especially in the third round when he landed 2-3 of those. And going into those championship rounds, if you could have just crippled his forward movement, because Kai was fighting off the back foot
The entire time.
almost the entire time. Yeah.
Also, Imavov just stays with that right hand cocked, right? So
Yeah.
he's waiting to come. So if you get him off that lead leg, now you've just taken away his superpower.
You need, attack the lead leg more. It was very frustrating just wanting to communicate that to Kaio and then not hearing it in his corner as well, which is like, come on, guys.
Yeah, they were speaking Portuguese.
Notice it, please.
One thing about the pre-fight, this probably means nothing, but and I didn't want to say anything during it because I didn't want to jinx anything, but when they showed like Kaio in the locker room, like bouncing around on the pads, like right before they were about to go out, he seemed kind of pale. At least I thought
like
so.
sickly?
More like nervous.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like nervous, pale.
Your homie just got choked out.
So, right, then you lose a little bit of team aura. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to go fight somebody that just knocked out Israel Adesanya. Like, that's kind of fucking scary.
Imavov looked great, though.
He looked good. I don't think that... I didn't give him enough credit coming into this fight. I stand by what I said about the Brendan Allen fight. I stand by what I said about the Jerry Cannonier fight. I do think that Chimaev smokes him, and I would love to be wrong because he stopped all 5 of Borrallo's takedowns.
Yeah, he did.
But Borrallo ain't no Hamzat.
Yeah, Hamzat's a different beast. Shout out to Imavov. He had a really good game plan coming in. He stuck with it, and it worked. I would love to see him get a title fight, but if he doesn't, I mean, DDP's sitting right there.
So I think that Dana is an asshole for being like, oh, we have this fight in France, and then we're going to do RDR in Fluffy Hernandez in October, and whoever has the best win, we'll see, right? Okay, well, the guys who go last are always going to have the recency bias.
Correct.
Mind you, the guys who go first are going to have a little more time to recover. But Imavov knocked out Izzy, and nobody's ever knocked out Izzy and wasn't named Alex Pereira.
True.
So,
True.
Like, dude was already owed a title shot, fought back in the rankings after beating Izzy, farther back than Izzy is, right? And, got a 50-45 on one good judge's scorecard. As much as I disagree with that,
shoot that judge.
Shoot that judge, indeed, dude. Yeah, we'll see you in Brazil.
Take him out back.
But the point being is I don't care who wins or how in that fight in Canada. Imavov has to be next for the belt.
He deserves it.
By right.
He deserves it.
Because there's no one that knocks out Izzy and then has to fight 2 more times before they're even considered for the belt.
Yeah. Definitely. I can definitely see that argument. I would love to see the winner of Fluffy and RDR get the DDP fight, but like I said, if you don't give Imavov the title fight, which is messed up, DDP is the next fight for either one of those matchups.
I think that DDP needs to be the fight the winner of the Hernandez fight is my vibe.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think whoever it is a great scrap.
It is. No, 100%. And we'll be very, very excited for either of those. Anything to add?
Yeah, let's do a little matchmaking for Kyle Borrallo because the middleweight division is real messy. Because you have guys like Sean Strickland, right, who won't fight Kyle Borrallo because they've trained together, who's also looking to fight in December, so he's off there. Then you got Adesanya and Whitaker, who are in real no man's land, right, where it's like, I would love to see Borrallo face Izzy. I think that's actually the fight to make. I mean, Whitaker versus Borrallo would be great too, but that's
who I had in mind.
But then you're making Rob wait a long time. He didn't get crushed by RDR. That was a
very close fight, and
that went to decision.
Definitely could have given it to Whitaker.
So I think Whitaker has to ask himself how much longer does he want to stick around at 185. There's also like Brendan Allen who's been waiting. I think Brendan Allen deserves a Whitaker/Adesanya fight at this point. He's already fought almost everybody else in the top 10. So if you're not going to let either Borrallo or Allen fight Whitaker or Adesanya, then make them fight each other. Borrallo versus Allen.
There you go.
2 top 10 dudes. That's a main event. Fight night, and even in the Apex.
Wherever. Do not put them in the Apex.
I mean,
stop
Brendan
going
Allen.
to the Apex.
It's Brendan Allen.
It is Brendan Allen, but stop going to the Apex.
And I still think that the fight to make for Sean Strickland is MVP. I just want to throw that out there. Just wrapping up the top 10 in the middleweight. I mean, think about timing-wise, it's so perfect too. Sean Strickland wants to get in there. In Vegas, I'm sure that MVP did not get hurt in that Cannonier fight.
No, he was styling on him the whole time. He looks good. Yeah, get those two on the December card. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Paris every time they go there. The cards are amazing. Mm-hmm. The energy is awesome.
Great.
Truly jealous that Americans don't sing songs during games of any kind.
Why don't we have an anthem of some sort?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and I'm also glad that the European fans got to watch at a normal time instead of staying up super late.
Yeah.
Spread the love. And I love daytime fights anyways.
It's a great way to start your Saturday.
Seriously. Yeah, especially when there's college football on. Like, it's a sweet combination.
Absolutely. Does that wrap it up?
It does.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Sporty Yellow Show with the Sporty Yellow Bros. We will see you guys all next week. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and let us know your predictions for this upcoming next week's card. And we'll see y'all next time.
Later.